Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening in the podcast. Today is Monday, September 30th, 2024. It's the last day of the month, and I know I've been missing for a couple days. You guys know that I do upload content basically every day here. I've been dealing with some personal stuff, but right now everything, just praying and waiting on God to see what his will is gonna be with this. So just keep me in your prayers. I wanted to come here, guys, and thank you so much to all the new subscribers. I do see you, all the new subscribers on YouTube. Thank you so much to everybody who follows me on Spotify, and everybody who's my new platform right now is Pandora. Thank you so much to everybody who listens to this podcast using Pandora. Really means a lot, you guys. But I wanted to do a follow-up video regarding the death of Hannah Hutchins. We know, you guys, back in late October of 2021, Hannah Hutchins lost her life. She's the cinematographer that was working with Alec Baldwin over there in, I believe it was New Mexico. She lost her life during that shooting where they were live rounds on the set, and we know everything that happened with that. It's a very tragic story. Right now we know that Alec Baldwin was cleared of all charges, right? That happened a couple months ago. But Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, which is the armorer for that movie Frost, she has been in jail for some time now. I believe since March, right? And she has been fighting ever since to get out of jail, specifically now after finding out the outcome for Alec Baldwin regarding this case, right? The armorer of the movie wants to be out of jail, even though somebody died in that movie. Hannah Hutchins lost her life. She had a child, she had a husband, she had a family, okay? She lost her life just doing her job in that movie due to negligence of somebody not doing their job, right? You guys know the whole argument that I had with Alec Baldwin was that, in my opinion, is that I don't understand how somebody, a seasoned actor like Alec Baldwin, is gonna wash his hands off basically and be like, this was not my fault, And the outcome, he went to trial. There was a final outcome because he cannot be trialed again, right? He was clear without prejudice. I think that's the right term. He cannot be trialed again in this case. But I couldn't understand how a seasoned actor like Alec Baldwin just gonna be like, it really wasn't my fault, this and that. Like, out of anybody in that set, he was probably the most experienced one, right? But I'm not gonna go, my opinion about his responsibility is basically just what I think. I think deep down that I still go back and forth. I'm like, it's not his fault, but I'm like, how can he use a gun and not even think about double checking, especially somebody who has done this many times, right? And knowing that he's probably the most experienced person in that set, knowing that he met the armorer, he probably hired her because he was also a producer in the movie. He knew that a lot of people in the crew were kind of basically new, and he still trusted 100% in the new staff. That's why I couldn't understand. But anyways, going back to the armorer, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, she doesn't want to be in jail, right? She got sentenced, and I think, in my opinion, she got a very light sentence, right? She's fighting very hard to get out of jail. Today, again, her appeal to get a new trial and to the sentence be thrown out was also again denied. So let me read to you guys this article. Hannah Gutierrez-Reed will remain behind bars according to a decision filed by the judge overseeing the Ross movie Armorer's case on Monday. quote unquote, says here, with respect to the defendant's argument concerning her request for release pending appeal, the court finds that defendant has not established by clear and convincing evidence that the defendant is not likely to flee or pose danger to the safety of any person or the community if released. Judge Sommer ruled that Reed conviction still holds even though the judge previously determined that the prosecution suppressed evidence in the involuntary manslaughter case against Ross star and producer Alec Baldwin, like I told you guys earlier. Reed's attorney, Jason Bowles, told the news that they will continue to appeal the decision that was taken today, right? Gutierrez-Reed already has a separate appeal of her conviction pending in a higher court. Reed, who was the armorer on the set of the movie Ross in 2021, was convicted of involuntary manslaughter in March and sentenced to 18 months. I think 18 months is basically nothing. I mean, somebody lost their life here because the negligence of you doing your job. Like, are you serious? Like, that's crazy, you know? It's not that we need to find whoever is responsible. If anything, she's probably the most responsible one because her job was basically to be the armorer of the movie and to make sure there was no safety concerns, right? And that she was guarding that, the props and all of that. I think that's what happened. They were saying that she would walk around with this car where she was pushing, her equipment. And right before, the thing is, the shooting happened right after they came back from lunch, right? So the car, in my opinion, after following this case for so many months now, in my opinion, the car that Hannah Gutierrez-Reed had was left unattended. And somebody else knows what happened here. I think it was probably set up for her, right? To basically, a setup that went wrong, right? Nobody was thinking right when they did something like this. That person, whoever set that up, man, God have mercy, because that judgment day is coming for that person. I do believe somebody set that up, right? On purpose to basically create something that would have caused the whole production to stop. I mean, they were saying people were complaining about hotel arrangements. They were complaining about safety many times. So it was a sabotage that happened here. I do believe, after, like I said, following this case for so long, I do believe some type of sabotage was created here on purpose that absolutely went wrong, obviously, because Helena Hutchins died and the producer also got shot, right? So somebody knows this, and everything that's done in the dark will come to light at some point. But I think thinking all of that, just my opinion, I also believe that Hannah Gutierrez-Reed was responsible because she didn't do her job fully. She neglected to, even at the last minute, handing that gun to Alec Baldwin as an actor. She still failed to double check that gun. She thought that, sometimes when you work in a team, right, you think that everybody wants the best outcome. There are bad people out there, guys. And unfortunately, somebody was trying to create some type of sabotage here, and it went completely wrong. And out of anything, why would you even create something using a weapon that can kill somebody, right? Like I said, sometimes, when people work in teams, you think that everybody's is after the same goal. Let's finish the production. Let's have a great film. let's have a great outcome out of this. But because there were so many complaints that were not being addressed, it's basically, if you keep complaining, you can just leave. We can hire somebody else, probably for cheaper price, paying them less. And that's basically what happened. Still, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed failed to properly do her job as an armorer, that something like this was able to happen, right? Because okay, you went to break, you left the car unattended, but before continuing on, you have to double check everything. I mean, she says it in the surveillance video. She said that was like the worst day of her life, saying how she's gonna be 100% responsible. She knows. So I'm very surprised that she's still fighting this. If anything, she got a very low sentence. If anything, she should be just, face the consequences of your actions, right? Face it. As horrible as she might want to say something about where she's at, the jail and everything, she still failed to do her job out of negligence. Somebody died. There's a child who's gonna grow up without his mother, a husband without the wife. Everybody's affected by this. Everybody's surrounding that family is affected by this. Friends, family, everybody, right? And everybody also in that set that got traumatized by this whole thing, right? So, I'm just so surprised that she's still fighting for this. Like, at the end of the day, man, we can look at Alec Baldwin and be like, oh, he should have known better, but at the end of the day, the armorer was the person responsible here. So yeah, it's crazy that she's fighting it. During Alec Baldwin's trial, it was revealed that the friend of Reed's stepfather, Troy Teske, a former police officer, turned in Colt 45 rounds to Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office that allegedly came from the Western film set. But instead of the Sheriff's Office filing it with the existing evidence or alerting Baldwin's legal team, it was cataloged separately with a go-ahead from New Mexico Special Prosecutor Kerry Morrissey. For this reason, Summer dismissed Baldwin's case, saying New Mexico prosecutors failed to disclose the evidence, a violation of the Brady law. Yeah, I remember them saying that. So she's gonna continue. Apparently, Hannah Gutierrez is gonna continue on to fight this whole thing. So, I just told you guys, I still think that she should just finish her sentence, face the consequences of her action, and learn from this, right? So let me know what you guys think about this. It's very unfortunate, this whole case. I remember hearing about that. I'm like, oh my goodness, how can that even happen, right? How can that even happen? Then, when I remember, like what I'm saying, I remember learning about the shooting. I'm like, how can that happen in a movie set, right? And then, you start researching, like, who is responsible? Who's bringing the guns to the set? Who's making sure, it's all set? That's why, Alec Baldwin's argument was like, I was handed a Colt gun. I think that's what they call when it doesn't have any live rounds. He's saying, I was handed this by the person in charge of it, right? So he's like, it wasn't, it's basically her fault. So let me know what you guys think about this. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel again, everybody, and thank you so much for listening in the podcast. Have a good day. God bless. Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe and share. And if you want to know more about me, you can visit my website, julissadesigns.com. Have a good day everybody. God bless.